Matty, it's great to have you back on the show, and I'm even more excited that we get to play the new Memphis single, Virus. I like it. I've been watching the video a few times this morning, and I'm digging it, man.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. A little bit of a change of pace from the solo project, huh?
Yeah, I dare say. And not that I dislike the solo stuff, but man, the Virus video, for those of you who have not watched it, small kids may not be appropriate for them because it's kind of intense, but the new Memphis May Fire music video is called Virus. And of course, it's the name of the current single as well, and it's jamming, man. I like it.
Definitely not appropriate for children. We when we launched it, my sisters, both have 4 kids, and they always watch anything that we put out, and I had to give them a little disclaimer before we dropped that one, like, hey, there's a good amount of blood in this video, probably not safe for the kids, but regardless, it is really cool, man. I mean, like the song's a very literal take on a metaphorical concept. Yeah, it's cool because the song is, a metaphorical concept, but the music video is a very literal take on it. As if the virus was very literal. And I thought it was a really cool way, a cinematic way to bring the song to life. And Caleb Mallory, who did the video, is a genius. We've done a bunch of music videos with him at this point, and so we love working with him.
Nice. So now, how much of like the cinematic parts of the video were you guys around for? Because I could tell there was some interaction there, but it was hard to tell like maybe how much you guys had to be on set for that.
That's a great question, man. Yeah. So everything came together really quick for that video. We didn't have a whole lot of time for planning. So what we did was I was actually on my way the band was in the bus on the way to start Warped Tour in Seattle.
Okay.
And instead of riding the bus, I flew to LA a day before Warped Tour started for the video shoot, and then flew from LA to Seattle. So I was only in LA for a few hours. So what they did was they got like a body double for me. And the majority of the shots that you see of me in the the gas mask and everything, it's actually someone else who did all that stuff. They just had to find like another scrawny ginger, I guess. But yeah, man, it was cool. I did a couple of like the shot at the end walking away holding the axe. Like I did that shot, and obviously the shot where me and the other actors in the video are, locked up in that warehouse trying to escape the virus. I was there as well. But yeah, I mean, I was probably only a part of the video shoot for about 4 hours. It was really easy.
Wow. Now, after having done that, do you feel like you want to do more videos that way to where you don't have to be there as much, or are you kind of looking forward to being back in the thick of it a little more?
No, I would love to do every video this way. Video shoots are so grueling, but it's rare that we would have another concept where I'm, masked. I guess there was the other one for our video for Stay the Course where I was in a big black robe with a hood on. You couldn't tell it was me for the majority of the video. That one I did. It was 2 12-hour days out in 120-degree weather in the desert right outside of California. And so that was one that I wish I would have had a body double for.
Right. It does seem like that is kind of a theme throughout band music videos, is band suffering for the art of it.
Yeah. Oh man, it's crazy. Well, the video we did for this Lad I Hold, that song featuring Jacoby Shaddix, we had like this whole courtroom set, and the owner of our record label and the vice president of the record label were like, yeah, we want to come and be a part of the video. So like the owner of the label would be the judge, and the vice president would be on the jury. And I think for the first time ever, they got a taste of what like music video shoots are actually like. We were in this building that had no AC for, we must have been there for like 14 hours. And, it was like a lot of hurry up and wait, like a long time in between takes and everything. And I think it helped them appreciate how much really goes into it. But, props to the producers who have to be, just fully on the entire time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, now, I mean, we've kind of already talked about kind of the fact that the song is a metaphor, obviously. I mean, because, you're not in the medical field, so we don't have to worry about those sorts of things. But let's get a little bit more specific about the metaphor itself. Like, what is the virus a direct metaphor for?
Yeah, I mean, the virus is a metaphor for whatever it is in your life that's consuming you or trying to consume you, whatever it is that's poisonous in your life, and eliminating that overcoming that and moving on from that. So, I wanted to keep that concept vague. I've met so many people all over the world, through music, and I see struggle as a obvious thing. It's a common thing from with every human being, but everybody struggles differently. So, the song, I wanted it to empower people that we're trying to get out of a negative relationship, or people that are trying to get away from an addiction, to overcome an addiction. I think that we all have our demons like that, and having a song to kind of cheer you on or to help you feel empowered, I think is so important. Music can be so powerful. And we had another song called Vices, and that one was very much so specifically about alcohol abuse. And I've met so many people that were impacted by that song, and that really felt like it helped them overcome their alcoholism. I was like, man, why don't we write a song that's just for everyone's struggle,
Yeah.
And identify it as a virus, identify it as something that, is attacking the body. But yeah, man, it was cool. It was the first song that Kellen and I have ever co-written with anybody ever. Everything else that Memphis has ever done has just been, an instrumental from Kellen and a top line from me, and that's it. We decided to get in the room with a guy named Kane Turco, who him and his dad Kevin Turco do a lot of big active rock stuff like Disturbed and Five Finger Death Punch and Ozzy Osbourne, and
Wow.
the list goes on. And actually write with somebody else, get a third a brain into the equation, and it was really cool, man. So cool that on the 15th of this month, we're actually going back to see him and doing an entire album with him.
Wow, very cool. So for now, at least, the Virus is just kind of a single, and then the rest of the album's coming later.
Yeah. We dropped Virus kind of as just, I guess, kind of a gateway into this like new season for the band.
Right.
We're really excited about pursuing the world of active rock, and we're always going to be Memphis May Fire, and my voice isn't going to change much, right? So it's like we're going to sound like us, regardless. But we're excited about new opportunities, touring with bands we haven't toured with, and hopefully playing for people that have never heard of us before. We love doing Warped Tour, and we love touring with all of our buddies that are in bands that we've been touring with for years. But it gets to a point where, we really do need to play for people that haven't heard of us, so that we can expand, and so that we can hopefully inspire, other people that, we believe would benefit from the positivity in our music. So.
Nice. Well, let's for listeners. I mean, for you and me, the term active rock, it means something pretty specific. But explain to listeners kind of what you mean by that, just so that they don't feel left out.
No, yeah. I mean, active rock radio is your, local rock station. There's always been like the heavy hitters in active rock, right? Like Metallica and, bands like Disturbed and these days now bands like Five Finger Death Punch and stuff. And it's just it's rock and roll that's heard on a much larger scale. It's not dependent just on touring or just on word of mouth, but on, radio play. And
Right.
It's something that my band has never been focused on. We've never cared about, or I guess never needed radio exposure to try to do what we were trying to accomplish, just to attack the underground world. And now we're at a point where we're really interested in that. Like I said, just the opportunity to play for people that haven't heard of us, and if it's not for radio, probably never will hear of us.
Yeah.
And to, just to do something different. I think it's going to be exciting.
Cool. So, I mean, does that end up meaning slightly, maybe, I don't want to say less heavy, because Virus is plenty heavy, but it's heavy in kind of maybe a little bit different sort of way.
Yeah, I don't really know what the word heavy means. I've been trying to figure that out for so long. Like, you know what I mean? It's like if we're not, black death metal, then it's not like heavy enough for some people. And if
Right.
we're not, if they're, but when it comes to like what my opinion of heavy is, that riff in Virus is like one of the heaviest things that we've ever written ever.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it comes down to what your definition of heavy means. Less breakdowns, less screaming, potentially. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But the heavy aspect of our band, I think will grow even bigger.
Right. And I mean, to me, that's just it. I mean, and this might be a slightly rabbit trail of a conversation, but I totally know what you mean in that for me, rock music is kind of morphed between at least one guitarist and one bassist and drums to more of almost an attitude, because It seems like so much more of what is charting isn't necessarily fitting that mold. It may be, all electronics, but there's this weird kind of undefinable intensity or attitude behind something that kind of makes it still feel rock and roll to me, which I think is interesting. So yeah, I mean, I think that the same could be said of heavy, because you're right. I mean, there's nothing not heavy about Virus, but at the same time, I was like, there's not as much screaming in this as I'm used to, but I really dig it. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, man. We've got a guy that's working for us at radio right now. It's like a part of our team that works for us. And when we delivered Virus to him, he said, radio stations and radio personnel have known about Memphis May Fire for the 10 years that we've been a band, but they've just been waiting for us to give them something they could actually play, and this is it. That was kind of the vibe we got. We were so excited about it because, because we're still so heavily involved in the writing process, and because I'll never write something that doesn't feel meaningful to me, something that doesn't, speak volumes about its humanity and what we go through, and hopefully offer some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, right? It's always going to feel like Memphis May Fire. It's never going to change. So even if our sound is a little different, we're still going to be the same band, still be the same dudes. And so we're just kind of looking forward to a new season.
Nice. Fantastic. Now, do you see the slight shift in sound having any effect on y'all's stage show at this point?
No, not that I can think of, Well, here's the thing. We've put out 5 albums,
right,
full-length albums. It's not like we're just going to not play those songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if we go out and headline, or even if we're supporting, it's like there's a really good amount of people in that room that are expecting to hear some of those songs, and we like to play those songs. We're not going to not acknowledge that is a part of our history, a part of our path as a band. I don't know. It's like, I guess with Virus being our only single like this, it's hard for me to really know if it would change anything. But if as far as our performance aspect and future production that we might use, I don't think it'll get anything but more cool.
Yeah, for sure. And I didn't think that would be the case, but I always know thinking more as a fan than as a person who hosts a radio show, I'm thinking about all the stuff that people who might be, for whatever reason, slightly disappointed that there isn't as much screaming or the slight shift in sound, and be like, man, I wonder what they're going to do live now.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, I guess maybe certain forms of hardcore dancing would be a little more complicated to do. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know, and I frankly just don't care. It's like, at the end of the day, dude, it's like, if you want more screaming or if you want more breakdowns, it's like I said, we have 5 other albums with plenty of it on there, and there's a million other bands out there that are doing that still, that are still pursuing that. So it's like, if that's what your heart desires, like, by all means, please go and satisfy that. But we're just excited about what we're doing, and I think that there's a lot of people in our camp and in our fan base that are excited about it as well.
Oh yeah, and I think that this will be an easy transition for you guys, honestly. I mean, I've seen several other bands who have taken maybe slightly similar turns. That, there's always people who are like, man, I like their old stuff. There's always going to be that guy, right? Who only yells out the name of the first single off the first record whenever you see, whenever they're playing live or whatever. But
totally.
But then again, I think the majority of fans who really are into the music are kind of like, okay, this is different, but I can dig it. And I to me, that's who I usually am. I'm much more about not only the people, but also kind of like the overall vibe. And I think the vibe is still there, especially with this track. And I'm very anxiously awaiting what's to follow. So I don't think you have anything to worry about at all.
No, dude, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you guys recently just played your last show of 2017. How'd that go?
It was cool, man. Yeah. Playing with Firefest in Fort Worth, Texas. It was cool. We got to hang out with our buddies in Norma Jean and 18 Visions, which is not a lineup that we get to, play with all that often. So it was cool to see them and to jam alongside of them, and to finish off the year in the state that really incubated our band. It was cool.
Nice. Yeah, I spent a good bit of my youth in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well, so that's always
nice.
a fun place to see a show. Absolutely. So now now that you guys are pretty much done touring for the year, having played your last show, and there still being like a month and a half left of 2017, how are you going to be spending your time for the rest of the year?
Well, we're recording a new album.
Yes.
Yeah. So October 15th to December 8th, we are in the studio in Las Vegas with Kane Churko.
Nice.
So it's going to be a long one. But, this will be the first time that we've ever gone and written in the studio for a full-length album like this. So it'll be cool, man. We're looking forward to it. So, yeah, the rest of the year is taken up by recording. Right at the very end of the year, I'm going to hop on a cruise with my family. We're going to do that for Christmas instead of going up to the Northwest like we usually do.
Wow.
So looking forward to that, man. Take a little cruise out of Florida for the holidays instead of, snow and jackets and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. Now, this is probably a dumb question, but since it feels like every cruise is somehow a themed cruise, either for some style of music or some sort of lifestyle choice or whatever, I don't know. Is there any sort of theme for this cruise, or is it just a cruise?
Dude, to be honest, I couldn't even tell you. My dad booked the whole thing.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Like it's kind of it's his brainchild. He does like one big family vacation every 2 years,
Okay.
and like plans the whole thing. And usually it's not at Christmas. This will be the first time we've ever done one during Christmas. But yeah, man, honestly, like my wife and I are just going to show up and enjoy it, So if there is a theme, I'll be sure to shoot you an email and let you know what it is. But as far as I'm concerned, the theme is getting onto a boat with 15 family members and just trying to have a good time.
Well, see, and I'm trying to think of what it could be that would be funny to find out. The only thing that comes to mind is maybe if it's like, meet the cast of Chips and see like live reenactments of your favorite episodes or something, which would be hilarious.
And it definitely could be, since my dad booked it. We'll find out.
Cool deal. So, slightly off topic, but since the last time we had you on was to talk about your most recent solo project, is there anything connected to that that's coming up in the near future?
Yeah, I actually just dropped a brand new single and a new music video for a song called The Best Is Yet to Come.
Okay.
And that one's being serviced to CHR Hot AC Radio right now. So, so we'll it's kind of like the new season. When I get back from the family cruise, I think I'll have January, February off, and that'll be kind of just in pursuit of the solo project. I'll probably do a couple little radio tour runs, and I don't know. It's something I'm always kind of working on in the background. So there's always something going on. But as far as the public is concerned, The Best Is Yet to Come is a new single, new music video. That's what's going on.
Nice, very cool. And I know that my boss got it because I work at a contemporary station here in Nashville, and I know that he got it. And he's like, I'm thinking about it, so we'll see what happens. But it's always nice to be able to see your name being tossed around. And then the other day, one of my bosses was taking a gander at some of your hair pomade. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Love it, man. Yeah. That's another just like full-time venture for me. The store called Zoomies that you'll find at almost every major mall in America just picked up the product. So
nice.
That relationship is new and awesome, and plenty of product being sent to them, monthly. And so it's just a constant grind, but it's really cool, man. Something I've always been passionate about, fine men's grooming products. And so it's cool to kind of be a major player in that game.
Nice. So now, see, I am completely like slick bald. So at some point, you need to come up with something for the portly bald man in your family.
Yeah, sure, man. I think we could get a little, a bald shine going, or maybe some beard oil if you got a beard. I don't know.
And I do. See, that would work out well. And it's weird because of that. That leads to weird situations for me. The other day, I have a 2.5-year-old, and we were sitting around the table or something, and she looks at my wife and goes, "Mommy, you have pretty hair." And then she looks at her grandma and goes, "Grandma, you have pretty hair." And then she looks at me and goes, "Daddy, your beard is pretty." And I was like,
"Oh, that's cute, man.
Good save, little one. Good save." Like, way
that's
not
awesome.
To let Daddy feel left out.
Love it.
Oh man. Well, cool deal, dude. There's one other question that I'll close with, but before we get to that, is there anything else that you want to let people know about that we haven't discussed, or anything that you want to get the word out about?
No, just stay posted on social media. I'm always on there and giving updates about stuff. So while Memphis is in the studio doing our new record, we'll be posting updates. So just stay posted, and if you're interested, we'll have plenty of content for you.
Awesome, cool deal. And we may have asked you this before, in which if I did, forgive me, and you can come up with a different answer, because I'm sure there could be different answers for this question. But Matty, as a lead singer of Memphis May Fire, what would you say is the most un-rock and roll thing about you?
Everything. There's nothing rock and roll about me. I mean, like, I live in the suburbs of Spring Hill, Tennessee, with my wife of 11 years. We have a Yorkie. You know what I mean? Like,
wait. Before you get any further with that is the ultimate un-rock and roll test. What is the Yorkie's name?
Maverick.
Well, that's pretty cool, though. I mean,
it's pretty rock. Yeah,
I can go with that.
More Western than rock. His full name is Maverick Wyatt Mullins, and
I love it.
Yeah. But no, man, I'm just a family man through and through, and I'll always have loved rock and roll, but I don't think that my lifestyle is a great depiction of it. I just it's great. It's an incredible way for me to use music for ministry in a place that doesn't see a whole lot of light outside of people that want to bring it there, and so that's just been, the goal for me for the past, 10 years is to just bring light into the darkness, man. And God continues to use me in that. And, so it's been awesome.
Fantastic, dude. Well, thanks again for your time. We love the new single. We're anxious to see it climb the charts, and look forward to the new record to follow, man.
Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate it.